Hey guys, I'm back. It's been a while. I haven't been getting too much stuff of late, but I did go to the recent record fair this month. So here I am back in my dorm here. As you can see, I have everything relatively the same, except I now have the Tool poster over there, and I have two really awesome King Gizzard posters in front of me. But I'll show you guys those later because I'm going to do a vinyl review here pretty shortly. Or I should just say, not really a vinyl review, I guess, more of just showing off my, uh, what I got recently, just a couple of days ago. So, I just have a few things here, nothing too exciting. Most of it's old stuff, nothing I bought online or any special editions or anything like that. It's just a couple of cheap old records that I got, very recently, and nothing too obscure or super interesting, just a few things here and there. So, first, what I'm going to start off with is I finally got a Pink Floyd Obscured by Clouds vinyl. And there's the front and back here. And I see these around once in a while, but sometimes they're a little bit pricey. But I got one for a decent price, and I haven't played it yet, but it looks relatively in good condition, so I hope it'll sound good and that I'll be able to give it a spin sooner or later. So that is Pink Floyd Obscured by Clouds. And I actually haven't listened to this record or any earlier era Pink Floyd records for a while now, with the exception of The Piper at the Gates of Dawn. So I'll definitely want to check this out relatively soon, if not later, because I have not, as I said before, I have not been listening to a lot of earlier stuff of Pink Floyd for a while, and I really should, because I do enjoy a lot of the earlier works, just as much as I do, and maybe even more than some of the later stuff, so definitely a thing I will be looking into. The next thing that I have, and actually, it's a lie, I've gotten no vinyls online this time around, but I did get a CD, and that would be from the, I don't know how this is pronounced, but it's the EMT record label. It's a really interesting ambient record label that's kind of defunct now. They don't release any more music, but they did for a while. And this is the Coral Stone release that they have, and as you can see, there's a really cool. I don't know if this is a grasshopper. I need to do better in my entomology class, because I know this is in the Orthoptera family right here, at least. So yeah, there's the back. It's just plain, and then on the inside there's just a white CD there with some really cool designs and everything all over. And yeah, there's not too much to it. It's just a really old CD. And these are actually collectibles, so there's a lot of these going around that are usually pretty hard to get. So I was able to get this one at a pretty decent price, and I really enjoy it. It's old, but I kind of like that feel. It's definitely, it just has a interesting smell to it, and it's, I don't know, I just kind of like old CDs like this once in a while, because they're just interesting to find. But yeah, if anyone's interested in more like just some really good like ambient kind of music, EMT is a really good record label to try out, because whenever I'm studying for tests or anything, I always go to their stuff, and it's really nice. It's the only way I can explain it is it's like listening. It kind of reminds you of like watching a 90s nature documentary. That's the aesthetic I get from listening to that kind of music. So going on from there, I have, and I'm not a huge Zeppelin fan, but I did get two of the records really recently, and that would be Led Zeppelin 3, and this one is, I think this one's just Led Zeppelin. Yeah, this one's just Led Zeppelin. And yeah, so I just got these for like $5 each. They're pretty roached. I'm not, as I said before, I'm not like a huge Zeppelin fan. But it is. But if I ever come across the music and it's cheap enough, if the record's cheap enough that I'm willing to buy it, I think I'll get it because the records are really good, and I do enjoy the music. I'm not like crazy about it, but I do really like Led Zeppelin, and hopefully I'll be able to listen to their stuff some more because I really haven't. I have listened, I think, to all the most famous records probably at least once, but I've never really dug into it too much. So that'll definitely be something to think about. All right, so going on here. So I have. So this is kind of a disappointment. So I found this Tiny Tim's debut album in a section somewhere at the record fair. And so as you can see, here's the cover, here's the back, and I thought that it was the record, but unfortunately, if you look inside, it is actually a whole different record. So I did not get the actual record with the package. These are two separate things. So I don't know what this is. I'll just have to put it on and see what I get. But unfortunately, I didn't get a Tiny Tim record, and hopefully I'll be able to find one someday because his debut album is like the most amazing thing ever. So it's kind of unfortunately a disappointment that I was unable to get that record. But the search will continue. I will try to find another Tiny Tim record because I have a second one. I have a bunch of live albums of him, but I don't have his debut. So the search just continues. I'll just have to keep looking. All right. So another thing that I got this Bob Dylan record, Blood on the Tracks. This is one of his really good albums, and I haven't listened to a ton of Dylan. I have listened to some of his work, but hopefully me buying some vinyl might get me motivated to dig into his stuff some more because I have obviously I have to be an idiot to say I haven't listened to his music at all, but I'm definitely lacking when it comes to my knowledge of his discography and the stuff that he has done. So that will be a thing to check out. And I think from the same person, I also got this record, which is a King Crimson album. And I think this is Larks, Tongues, and Aspic. So there's the back right there. And I have another one of the records, not this one. Actually, I think I have two of them, so will be another one to add to my collection. And yeah, I'll be excited to look at this one because it's actually in really good condition. The cover isn't too bad, and King Crimson records can be a little bit hard to get sometimes, or not necessarily to find, but I'm always choosy about them because they can be pretty pricey. But whenever I find just a cheaper one that is one of the really good records, I'll take it because I'd like to have hard copy of the King Crimson because, as I've said before, the music really isn't on the internet. Some of their stuff is, but most of it isn't, so it's nice to have hard copies of this stuff. And I hope to probably get at least a hard copy of at least all of the really good records, because it would be nice to just be able to listen to them at ease without asking someone else for one or having to pirate them or do something like that. Not that I really want to pirate music or anything, but that would be my only option because, as I said before, this stuff isn't on the internet. And so the last thing that I have here is, and I guess whoever had this with them, they obviously did not really have much of an appreciation for it because it was almost like $10, and it's literally a brand new a Kendrick Lamar album, The Pimp a Butterfly, and I mean the whole thing it's probably not printed this year. It's probably from whatever year this came out, which I believe is, I think it's 2015. Yeah, it's 2015. But yeah, this is an amazing record, and I am so glad that I was able to get a really nice copy of it, because I've listened to this record quite a few times, I think, at this point, and it's definitely something. And even as a person who's not, I mean, I like listening to hip hop, but don't listen to a ton of it. But this is even for me, is a really good record, and I'm very glad that I was able to get it. So that is it for all of my collection here. It's pretty minuscule in comparison to most of my other hauls, but it's something. So I'm glad that I was able to find what I could find, and hopefully I'll be able to gather. One thing I could probably do is I do have a whole bunch of really cool t-shirts that I got recently that I could show off, but I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. But yeah, so yeah, as I said before, it's been a while. I'll probably be doing different things here and there other than vinyl reviews, but if I ever get something interesting, I'll definitely show you guys it if I get enough stuff that I feel like I could review and make a video about it. But yeah, so that's all I have for now. Maybe I'll make another review somewhere around winter break when I'm back at home if I have any other records that I haven't already shown yet, which I think I do. I probably have a few records that I haven't. But other than that, that is all I have. That is all for today, and I hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you later.